What's up, y'all? It's Remy. We back with another drop. Man, all I say is let's get to the bottom of this. It's gonna be on ancient civilizations, lost to time. You know, that's my favorite topic. So if you guys like that kind of stuff, man, I could bring more of these to y'all. I'm gonna do my best to make the content fun. Alright, y'all, let's get into it.
This is the Mangala Nathaswami Temple in Tamil Nadu, India, and archaeologists claim it is the oldest Shiva temple in the world. Many researchers think that this temple was built before the Ramayana happened. The really surprising thing about this temple is its main idol. There is a 6 feet tall idol of Lord Shiva inside the Sanctum Sanctorum. It is completely carved out of a huge emerald stone, which is quite baffling. The first reason is that emeralds were believed to be first mined in ancient Egypt in the 1500s.
Lies.
So, where did this stone come from? The ancient texts say that the stone was brought by Shiva himself from Shiva Loka, a rocky planet. And the second reason is that the emerald used is extremely susceptible to breakage or crack because of its natural properties. Even music is not allowed to be played inside the temple because the vibrations through the air can cause cracks on the idol. So what technology did they use to carve this astonishing Shiva statue thousands of years ago?
What technology did they use, people? I know we got some smart ones out there. What the hell did they use to carve a giant emerald into a Shiva statue? Bro, I can't think of shit. Lasers? They had to have lasers or something, right? What else could do that shit? I know what it wasn't. Hammer and chisels. It definitely wasn't that.
This is the Mangala Nathaswami Temple in Tamil Nadu, India, and archaeologists claim it is the oldest Shiva temple in the world. Many researchers think that this temple was built before the Ramayana happened. The really intriguing thing about this temple is its main idol. There is a 6 feet tall idol of Lord Shiva inside the Sanctum Sanctorum. It is completely carved out of a huge emerald stone, which is quite baffling. The first reason is that emeralds were believed to be first mined in ancient Egypt in the 1500s. So, where did this stone come from? The ancient texts say that the stone was brought by Shiva himself from Shiva Loka, a rocky planet. And the second reason is that the emerald used is extremely susceptible to breakage or crack because of its natural properties. Even music is not allowed to be played inside the temple because the vibration through the air can cause cracks on the idol. So, what technology did they use to carve this astonishing Shiva statue?
Bro, it's gotta be lasers, bro. It has to be. I'm gonna go ahead and say it wasn't sound frequencies on this one. Just because how they are about all the sounds around that shit. Saying that they can damage, crack it. Bro, I had to do lasers, bro. They had lasers in the past, bro.
In Japan, such a giant carved stone, perfectly shaped but never moved. No tools left behind, no explanation. Just 500 tons of mystery, cut straight from the mountain.
If you go to Osaka and the area nearby, you will know that ancient megalithic buildings can be seen everywhere, like the Ishino-Hoden megalith, one of Japan's oldest and holiest sites. This giant stone monument carved out of bedrock on a mountainside is believed by some researchers to date back 16,000 years and weighs approximately 500 tons. It is said to resemble a floating rock over water, earning it the name floating rock from the heavens. Japanese lore suggests that the Ishino-Hoden megalith was created by ancestors to document an extraterrestrial visitation, using the hard stone to symbolize the color and indestructible nature of the craft they saw in the sky.
Did you know? Sigiriya, a massive rock located in Sri Lanka, is an incredible historical and archaeological site, also known as the Lion Rock. When an archaeological team conducted a survey of this enormous rock in 1982, they were astonished. At the top of this 180-meter high rock, they discovered the remains of an ancient palace. Just imagine, a palace on top of a 180-meter high rock. It is believed that in ancient times, King Kashyapa built his royal palace on this massive rock and is surrounded by dense forests. However, this palace was no ordinary structure. It was built using 3 million bricks. The biggest mystery, though, was how these 3 million bricks were transported to the top. Scientists initially speculated that the bricks might have been made on top of the rock itself. But then another question arose. How did people reach there in the first place? At that time, there were no staircases leading to the top. The iron stairs you see today were built later for tourists. Originally, there was no known way to climb the rock. At the entrance of the site, there are also massive claw-like marks of a creature. According to geologists, these resemble the shape of a lion. Some even believe that this was the legendary Lanka of Ravan. Sigiriya is not just a rock, it is a mystery. Was it truly built by a god, or was it created by aliens? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.
Do you know about this mysterious place in Sri Lanka known as Sigiriya? Well, Sigiriya might be the place where we would be able to solve many mysteries of the ancient text Ramayana. But first, let us see what this ancient marvel Sigiriya is, because it is listed as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. It is a large granite rock located in the middle of a jungle. It stands about 600 feet tall, but there is evidence of artificial construction on the top using bricks and marble. Now here is the real shocker. There is no ancient staircase leading to the top of this large rock. So how did the ancient people transport these bricks and marbles to the top? These metallic staircases were installed just in the last century. Many ancient texts indicate that Sigiriya was in fact a part of the palace of King Ravan.
Lion's Rock, also known as Sigiriya, is one of Sri Lanka's most iconic landmarks and an UNESCO World Heritage Site. This ancient rock fortress, rising nearly 200 meters, 660 feet above the surrounding plain, is located in the central Matar district near the town of Dambulla.
How? Bro, Sigiriya, bro, I ain't been there, bro, but I feel like I know a lot about Sigiriya, bro. I saw Sigiriya a few years ago for my very first time, bro. And I absolutely was wondered by that place, bro. I got to go see it. I'm saving my money up right now to go see it. It's only in Naga. I'm going. But look, check this shit out. I be doing research on this place, right? So they got a whole bunch of water gardens out there. And in the water gardens, they would flood them bitches when people would come. Alright, let me reverse. Sigiriya, bro, is not built by no King Kashyapa in 1400, none of that shit. Bro, tell me who the fuck could build some shit like that around our timeline, bro. Fuck out of here. Okay, so look. King Ravana is who the ancient history is really about. King Ravana is a mixed Naga human king or some shit like that, right? He's supposed to be like 10 to 12 feet, 14 feet tall as fuck, right? And he could like do invisibility shit. He was crazy, bro. Well, anyways, this his place. And a long time ago, he stole this dude named Rama. He stole his bitch, and they see this, took her with him, and he took her there, and had her ass up there, and held her for hostage type shit. So Rama had to go try to find his bitch, which he was in India, and he had this monkey dude named Hanuman. That was his boy, and they didn't know where to find Sita at, but then Hanuman's like, look, bro, I got a little bit of intel and shit, but I said, whoa. So he flew over there. Hanuman flew over there, spied on Buddy, found Sita, flew back, and he's like, bro, I know where she's at. Ron was like, how the fuck am I supposed to get over there? It's all in the middle of the ocean. He's like, I got you, bro. Him and his monkey friends, the Homo erectus people before Homo sapiens, went and took a whole bunch of megalithic blocks and stacked them bitches all the way from India to Sri Lanka. And built this shit called the Rama Setu, Adams Bridge. And he went over there and got his bitch back. Yeah, that shit crazy. But that's where he had to go. He had to go to Sigiriya. It's never called Lion's Rock because clearly those are reptile claws because it is half reptilian, not lion. Okay, that's just mainstream, not knowing what they talking about. As saying King Kinshasa. No, that dude found that place and was hiding from his family there, but that place was already there. And they got the water guards will flood the whole. Bro, it's crazy. I'll do a deep ass dive into this area, but let's get back into this.
Did they build it? Lion Rock, Sri Lanka. Also known as Sigiriya, this ancient palace and city was built on top of a 180-meter tall rock that was once carved like a lion. According to the narrative, it was built by King Kashyapa around 500 AD. It was built out so that people would never need to leave the rock. Nowadays only the paws of the lion still exist, but scholars agree that back in the day, this was a full lion with head and shoulders. This complex is so incredible that the waterworks that were put in place 1500 years ago still bring fresh water on top of the rock. Then there's also a mirror wall, which was made of polished plaster so that the king would see his own reflection as he walks past. If that wouldn't be enough, the entire rock is filled with caves and tunnels, so big that we know that even elephants have lived on top of it. Then there's also this wall painting, which is one of the biggest murals in the world. The local legends say that the gods built it. And to be honest, if we are supposed to believe that people did this 1500 years ago with these tools and it took them just 18 years, I think there's a lot that we don't understand about this place.
So why did you tell all the people that shit then, bro? Why don't you just stick to the true story?
85% of this ancient city is still buried. Most people think this is Petra, the famous treasury, the part you see in every photo. But what you're looking at is just a fraction of the city that once thrived here. Petra wasn't just a monument. It was an entire metropolis carved straight into solid rock. Temples, tombs, streets, homes, all hand-chiseled by the Nabateans over 2,000 years ago. At its peak, over 30,000 people lived here in the middle of the desert. And somehow, they engineered dams, tunnels, and hidden canals to collect water. Then, as trade routes shifted, the city emptied. Petra disappeared for nearly 500 years, forgotten by the world. It wasn't rediscovered until 1812, when a Swiss traveler disguised himself and followed local guides through the narrow canyon. And even today, what tourists walk through? Just 15% of this incredible city. The rest remains buried beneath the desert sands, waiting. Over centuries, sand, rock, and time slowly swallowed the rest of Petra. Floods, erosion, and natural shifts covered much of the city, hiding temples, tombs, and streets from sight. Archaeologists believe there's still an entire lost city under the desert, and even today, new sections are uncovered bit by bit. But most of it may remain buried forever, a mystery carved in stone and sand. Petra isn't just a photo. It's a hidden city that has survived millennia, and one of the most astonishing places on Earth. If you thought you knew Petra, share this with someone who needs to see it.
Alright, bro, Petra is dope. I ain't gonna lie to you. I gotta go see that place also. Who thinks they should unbury the rest of it though? Cause I wanna see it. I hate when we lose old stuff, bro. I was watching this one video. It's over there like Iraq, Iran, one of them places over there. They were busting all they old ass statues, bro, with sledgehammers and shit. Bro, I wanted to choke the life out them people, bro. It's crazy. What the is wrong with people, bro? Destroying our past like that. Oh, it makes me sick, bro.
This is by far the most mysterious place we visited in Egypt, the Temple of Dendera. Not a lot of people choose to come here, so the temple is empty and you can really feel like you traveled back in time. As soon as you walk in, you see that it's one of the best preserved temples. The level of detail is insane, and you'll get to see a rare fusion of Egyptian, Greek, and Roman art styles. The colors are also over 2,000 years old, but they look like they've been just painted yesterday. The whole experience is an adventure. The temple is a maze with countless beautiful decorated rooms. After you explore these, you'll find yourself climbing stairs and crawling underground to get to the crypts of the temple. In one of them, you'll even see the famous puzzling image that looks like a light bulb, but actually isn't. When you're done with the crypts, you can climb the melted staircase and go see the shrine of Hathor on the roof. If you're visiting Egypt, don't miss the temple at Dandara.
And all the walls in here are carved into red granite, not limestone. And the work is perfect, as you see. What kind of technology did they use to give us this?
Real fast. Okay, now look. Buddy's in the hallway. Underground, I think, maybe. But there's no sunlight in this place. And they didn't have electricity. How did they carve all these carvings perfect? There's no torch marks in here or none of that shit. But they had electricity, bro. I don't give a fuck. They had electricity. They was in that lit up, carving all that shit. Quit lying, bro.
Hey, baby. They didn't build this temple. They carved it downward from the top of a mountain into a single solid rock. This is Kailasa Temple, and it's one of the most extreme architectural feats on Earth. It stands over 90 feet tall, but it wasn't assembled. Workers removed over 200,000 tons of stone without modern tools to reveal a full temple, towers, halls, and statues, all connected, all one piece. Walk inside and you'll find carved elephants, columns, shrines, and a central tower. Not placed, but sculpted. The walls tell stories of gods and demons, cut with precision and depth that has survived over 1,000 monsoons. Here's the twist. No one knows how it was done. There are no records, no plans, and no modern machine can carve a structure of this scale from a single stone. Is it religion? Is it geometry? Or just proof that faith can shape mountains?
The Kailasa Temple. I have to go to the Kailasa Temple. Now that is a work of art. You think the pyramids are nice? Bro, ancient Egypt was on a whole nother level, bro. That whole nother level. I think they was doing it bigger, better, and all that than Egypt was, bro. Oh my God, bro. I gotta do a video just on it. India temples, bro. Oh my God. Well, you gotta see this shit.
Since ancient times, India is...
In 1992, when a local farmer in the Zhejiang province of China was digging a well, he discovered something phenomenal. As he dug deeper into the ground, he unexpectedly broke through the surface and found himself staring into a vast underground chamber. Upon realizing the significance of his find, the farmer reported the discovery to the authorities. Archaeologists and experts were brought in to investigate the site, and what they uncovered was truly extraordinary. The farmer's accidental well digging had opened up a hidden underground labyrinth of interconnected chambers, stretching over an immense area. Estimates suggest that approximately 1 million cubic meters of rock were dug out to create these underground chambers, called the Lonju Caves. The Lonju Caves are estimated to be at least 2,000 years old. The intricacy and scale of these carvings indicate that the builders had advanced knowledge of the geology, possessed advanced engineering skills, and possibly some kind of lost technology that we are not aware of today.
Massive granite blocks, cut with precision that rivals modern tech, but they don't match any nearby temples. It's the Osirian, far older than we think.
In Bolivia, at 13,000 feet above sea level, there is a site called Pumapunku. The stone blocks there are cut to tolerances of 0.01 millimeters. That's tighter than a human hair, H-shaped, perfectly interlocking, like they were machined. The blocks weigh up to 800 tons. The nearest quarry is 10 kilometers away. There are no trees at that altitude, nothing to use as rollers. This is pre-Inca. The civilization that built it left no writing, no tools, no records of how. Modern engineers have looked at these blocks. They say the cuts require either diamond-tipped drill bits or computer-guided machinery.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Neither existed 1,500 years ago. We don't know who built Pumapunku. We don't know how. We don't know why they chose 13,000 feet. And we don't know why every block was found shattered, as if something destroyed it deliberately.
Look, bro, Pumapunku, 14,000 feet above sea level, massive blocks, megalithic blocks up there, and they're all scattered all over this flat land up there, bro. Like, I think, man, what happened, bro? There's so many ancient civilizations that was just booming at this time, bro, and there's sites that are just left undone. It's like something happened, bro, and clear indication is that something smacked this place, bro, destroyed it, just like the temple or the ancient pyramid they got in over there by New Zealand area. I forget what it's called. I had to put it in that video, but bro, it was a big ass pyramid, bro. And then when they're walking up to it, the blocks were just scattered everywhere, bro. So whatever happened there happened here. So that's what I believe. And that place dates back like fucking 14 to 20 something thousand years ago. It blows my mind. I love this shit.
So this is probably my favorite location on Earth because it's likely the most mysterious. It's an aerial view of what is called Pumapunku, located near Lake Titicaca in the highlands of Bolivia, 13,000 feet above sea level.
Scientists have released new data on Pumapunku, and the findings may reshape how we understand the history of the Andes. The stone blocks at this site display a level of precision so exact that for decades, researchers have debated how they were ever produced. With new analytical data now available, scientists believe they are closer than ever to an answer. Yet instead of delivering a final explanation, the discovery has made the origin of Pumapunku even more complex. Does the site truly belong to the Tiwanaku civilization, or does it point to a far more distant past? The answer is beginning to emerge. Precision at Pumapunku cannot be explained. The physical reality of Pumapunku has long stood as a vast contradiction, one that refuses to align with the established framework of conventional history. At the center of this instability are blocks of extremely hard andesite, shaped with surfaces so flawlessly flat that their margin of error measures only fractions of a millimeter when examined with modern laser instruments. Mainstream history maintains a cautious explanation. Bronze Age civilizations, it argues, relied on stone hammers, copper chisels, and rudimentary abrasives, applying immense amounts of time to gradually wear down natural rock. This view demands a deep belief in the power of patience. Yet, when confronted with sharply cut internal right angles carved deep into solid stone, drill holes of perfectly uniform diameter, and the repeating modular precision of massive blocks, the assumption of manual persistence begins to lose credibility. The characteristics of these stones point instead to a level of process control that resembles industrial production, a degree of precision that no combination of stone tools and human effort, even across centuries, could physically reproduce. Their mass, often reaching dozens of tons, and their refined finish extend beyond any known capability of Bronze Age societies. The absence of tools matching the complexity of the final product creates a profound logical gap. To encounter a material legacy that diverges so completely from the toolkit presumed to have created it demands a full re-examination of the timeline assigned to this site. No explanation rooted in manual craftsmanship can bridge the gulf between the hardness of andesite and the relative softness of copper tools. The pressure of these physical facts forces researchers into a cognitive bottleneck. Where the only path forward requires questioning the very temporal foundation upon which this site has been placed, the timeline does not match the structures for decades. Archaeological classification has firmly anchored Pumapunku within the Tiwanaku civilization, which flourished between 500 and 1000 AD. This association offers a reassuring narrative of linear progress, where an empire reaches its peak and its architecture rises alongside it. However, earlier dating methods relied solely on radiocarbon analysis of organic materials found nearby, not on the stone structures themselves. When optically stimulated luminescence dating, a technique that determines the last time mineral crystals were exposed to sunlight, was applied directly to the surfaces of the most refined stone blocks, the familiar timeline collapsed. Laboratory data indicates that the most complex stones were shaped as early as 200 BC. In contrast, the more rudimentary structures built atop them align with the peak period of Tiwanaku centuries later. The temporal structure here does not rise.
In the year 2013, a team of international scientists and psychiatrists from Germany, Netherlands, and New Delhi conducted a study on a very strange and frightening temple located in India. The Mehandipur Balaji Temple is not an ordinary Hindu temple where people go and offer prayers. It is one of the few temples left in India where priests are still allowed to perform exorcism. The temple is dedicated to Lord Hanuman, the greatest devotee of Lord Rama. Lord Hanuman is considered to be a Chiranjeevi, or an immortal, and many devotees believe that he still dwells in flesh. When you enter the premises of the Mehandipur Balaji Temple, you feel a chill down your spine due to the eerie voices and sounds caused by the possessed. The region where the temple is located is quite warm, but strangely, when you step into the temple, you can feel the temperature suddenly drop. Many cultures from ancient times have been talking about the existence of evil spirits and their attacks on human psyche.
These are scenes from a much different Egypt than we have been shown in our history books, showing a very buried city under the sand, pyramids built right on top of ancient tree stumps, and a sphinx that looks much different than the face we see today. And when I say built on top of ancient tree stumps, just look at this map from Cairo. Let's take a little closer look onto the top right of it. All those pyramids right on top of flat top mountains, or as we know them here, ancient trees. Everything has been reshaped in this world we know,
Okay, I don't know what to
mostly in part to hide our true past, our true origins, the true purpose of these structures like the pyramids. I think they were once part of an advanced civilization's free energy network, and they definitely go a lot deeper than we see. We have just started unburying from the last reset.
Right.
What do you think the true purpose of the pyramids were? Let me know in the comments. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
I think there was chemical plants, bro. My man's called the Land of Kim solved that. He has done chemical analysis tests in all the pyramids, and they all test positive for different chemicals. They were called building chemicals, bro. That's what it was. They needed all that mass to, because there was a lot of pressure going on there. That's what all them heavy ass blocks are to do. Prevent all that pressure from blowing out. Bro, the chemical plants, bro.
You're not ready for this. Thailand's sanctuary of truth shouldn't exist. Not with the tools humans supposedly had. First shocker. The entire 200-foot structure is built without a single nail. Every beam and pillar is locked together with hand-cut joints so precise the temple can move with storms without cracking. But here's where it gets wild. Every inch is carved with symbols of astronomy, time cycles, human origins, and consciousness. It's basically a universal knowledge map hidden in wood. Now, the insane part. The building breathes. Panels expand and contract with humidity, naturally cooling the inside like a living organism. Engineers say the structure behaves like bioarchitecture, not medieval construction. Even crazier, its four wings align with celestial directions, and the central tower acts like a cosmic axis, as if the temple was designed to channel energy between Earth and the sky. and construction never truly ends, because the blueprint follows ancient geometry that evolves generation after generation. So ask yourself, is this really a temple or a wooden machine of forgotten knowledge?
That's tight. That's all I know. That's
Number 1, Adam's Calendar. Adam's Calendar might be the oldest man-made structure in the world that we know of. Although the dating is highly disputed, some people believe that the stone structure known as the Stonehenge of Africa is over 300,000 years old. Others believe that it's only 400 years old and that the stones that weigh 5.5 tons were put there to keep cattle in a circle. The man who discovered it had to make an emergency landing while flying, and he crashed his plane into the side of a cliff, then discovering these huge stones in South Africa. It was called Adam's Calendar because the ancient megalithic site appears to track the cardinal directions, seasons, equinoxes, and solstices, and even some major constellations, and obviously because of the apparent extreme age of this site. It consists of an outer stone circle that's about 98 feet in diameter, and there are many complex patterns and astronomical alignments within it. There are many other stone circles and roads, as archaeologists claim, around this particular site too, meaning that it was part of an overall site and possibly even a town or city. The two main stones in the middle of the site do have carvings on them, but I really couldn't find any conclusions of what they are meant to be or what they represent. But they do note that the stones were not carved there, they were transported from somewhere else. Which, if that's the case, and this site is 300,000 years old, that raises some huge questions in our accepted historical timeline. And there are some interesting connections to Egypt too. Both civilizations had a fascination with the cosmos, specifically Orion's belt, and they also both knew of the equinoxes and solstices. Another really interesting find is that some people report that the stones and rock formations that make up the calendar resonate sound frequencies. And apparently these sound frequencies resonate in the form of a flower, which I have no idea personally what that looks like or how that would work. But if you know anything about sacred geometry, that detail might make you a little bit excited. Some other people, obviously similar to the people who believe in the ley lines, think that this site might have conducted electricity. Obviously there's no proof of that yet, and of course it also draws to another connection of Egypt. Overall, regardless of any claims of electricity or sound frequencies, it's a really fascinating structure, and I really do hope that we see some more archaeology and research behind it.
I agree.
Do you know about this mysterious Hindu temple, which even baffled the Britishers? The Veerabhadra Lapakshi Temple in Andhra Pradesh, India, is an ancient marvel. According to various Hindu Puranas, this temple was constructed by a sage named Agastya. What is so intriguing about Agastya is that he doesn't seem to be a normal human being. He is one among the Saptarishis, or the 7 great sages of ancient India. As I have already pointed out in a previous video, these 7 sages were mentioned in almost all ancient cultures around the world. They created and developed the first civilizations on our planet, and Sage Agastya is credited to have created the Javanese language, which is used in Java and Indonesia. So the Veerabhadra Lapakshi Temple is believed to have been constructed by Agastya. You will be shocked to know that there is a huge stone pillar which does not touch the ground, and seems to be hanging in the air. Once a British engineer tried to remove the pillar to learn its secret, but he was not successful, and no one till this day knows how this pillar was constructed.
Can you believe this? China literally spent $300 million just to install an escalator on a vertical cliffside. This isn't science fiction. It's the stairway to heaven, the Lingshan cloud ladder. We're talking about a vertical drop equivalent to an 88-story skyscraper. Before, if you wanted that mountaintop view, you'd be scrambling up steep trails for 4 hours. But now, just hop on this elevator to the clouds, and you're at the peak in 30 minutes flat. 50 escalators linked together like a steel dragon hugging the cliff. It's turned a hardcore survival challenge into a skywalking journey for everyone. This isn't just an elevator, it's a portal to another world. Standing at the top with nothing but a sheer drop below and rolling clouds around you. Tell me, would you dare to look down? Let's see how brave you are in the comments.
Bro, that's so cool, man. I really admire China. China be going all out, bro. They really do, man.
This is the Mangala.
The boys be going all out, bro. And I gotta go there, bro, because I gotta go see all this stuff, man. Like, I love this stuff, bro. Man, I'm really infatuated with ancient history, bro. But, You know, I'm here trying to get to the bottom of all this, and I want you to be here with me. So let's get to the bottom of all this and live for today, because tomorrow's not promised. And I'll see y'all tomorrow.